only because of the work I've been involved with for Miriam I'm able to stand up here today to tell you a little bit about my story. I was introduced to Miriam by a childhood friend about a year and a half ago. And as I said, I had been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. It wasn't necessarily something I was looking for, and it wasn't something I necessarily wanted to do. When he texted me about this opportunity, I truly didn't even know about the industry of relationship marketing. I had to Google it to figure out what it was about. Certainly I knew that people grew businesses from home, but I didn't know there was a whole industry attached to it, an industry of fun that I'm now learning about. But at the time I was scared. I didn't think I could do it. I decided to try the product because I thought, well, my goodness, what if this really does work? Who doesn't want to look a little bit better? I tried the product, loved it, and decided to see if this was a vehicle that could help my family. My husband is a full-time teacher, and as I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom. We're raising 3 little boys, so our family of 5 was living on one teacher's income. I thought, my goodness, what if I could use this vehicle, the sharing of a simple product that I love, to help my family get that extra couple $100 a month. You know, our mortgage was covered, our food bills thankfully were covered. However, we didn't have a lot of extra, and I was okay with that. I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. But I thought, you know, as the children were getting older, they had a lot of activities, and I thought it would be so great to have a little bit more to provide for them. So I hopped in. I had my first party. 4 people came, and I said to them I was so sick. I didn't know what I was doing. I was going to press play and get out of the way. And they laughed, and I did laugh. I said, no, I'm really just going to press play, get out of the way, and watch this video. And all 4 of them became my customers, and I thought, okay, maybe some more people will start to love this product, much like I do. Quickly thereafter, I found my first brand partner, which was a good friend. We went to a market party. I just followed the system. Quickly earned an iPad, and that iPad was a pivotal moment for me in my business because I thought something that I couldn't do, I actually did. And my husband, the full-time teacher, coach, had no time for anything in his life. He looked at me and he said, oh my gosh, you did it. And I said, I did, and guess what? I'm actually relatively close to my Lexus car bonus. He believed in me, he supported me, but I could tell, you know, your spouse best. He kind of rolled his eyes a little. He's like, yeah, she's going to get a Lexus. But I said he had a car he was driving that needed a new brake system, brake treatment. I said, don't buy those brakes, we're getting that Lexus. He hopped into the business, he started making some calls, and 20 days later we earned our Lexus car bonus. It was a truly magical time in our lives. I mean, 2 teachers earning a company paid for luxury car, and my husband has a love affair with Lexus, always has, always will. That was his dream car. So the fact that I, starting out sharing this little product, could provide him with a dream car was truly incredible to me. More incredible was not more than 2 months later, we were on the beach with our boys. We took a family trip to California, and I was sitting on the beach and I got an email of one of our pay stubs, or our paychecks, I guess you could say, of Paylution. And I literally quickly did the math in my mind, and I thought, we have just exceeded my income that I was making as a full-time teacher. And that was an aha moment for me. I thought, my goodness, it's working. This is really working. This is really going to change our family's financial future. So we went for it. I said, let's just go for it. Let's get this $25,000 bonus. A few months later, we did. We were, I'm excited to say, when we got our Lexus, we were doing happy dance. Took our kids to, dinner, to a restaurant we typically wouldn't go to. Didn't worry about the bill because we knew that there was a little bit of extra income coming in to pay for that bill. So we did the happy dance with the Lexus. We did the wobble when we got that $25,000 bonus. 2 teachers, $25,000 was a lot of money for us and our family. So much so that every year my boys' Little League fees would become due 5 days before Christmas. And for years as a stay-at-home mom, I would think, my goodness, couldn't they kind of move that date a little bit? 5 days before Christmas? Santa needs to come. We've got 3 little boys to provide for. And this year, right after we received our bonus, instead of being worried about where I was going to kind of find the funds to pay, I thought, my goodness, there's enough money in the bank and then some to pay that bill. I no longer have to worry about that bill. And I don't know if many of you have heard Mark Smith say that money monkey on your back. And that was really, when it hit me, I thought, my goodness, that money monkey is off our back. It was powerful for us. Perhaps more powerful was a realization quite recently of the personal development our family has gone through. A year ago, when I first started my business, my oldest son was beginning the 4th grade. And as I said, I'm a former teacher, and he had one of my former colleagues as a teacher. And she had won numerous awards, I should say, for a program she had in her class for admitting student government. And I had looked up to her my whole career. So of course my child now has the opportunity to participate in this program. And he wanted no part of it. And I'm embarrassed to say now, I never even thought to kind of push him out of his comfort zone because he didn't want to do any speeches in front of his class of about 30 kids. And I said, well, look, it's okay, I don't want to push him, that's not him. Well, fast forward a year, that same little boy is now in 5th grade. And, it's a little bit, sorry. That same little boy came home the first week of 5th grade, excuse me, and he said, Mom, I tried out for the drum club. And I thought, wow, that's great. I thought, I think that involves performances, but okay, I don't want to deter him. I promised you about 3 days later, he said, Mommy, I went out and I tried out for the honors choir team. We're going to perform all year. And I thought, what in the world? This child, what has happened to him? I was excited. I encouraged him. He then earned a coveted spot. He was scouted by a coach for a baseball team, a club baseball team. And once again, that money monkey a year and a half ago might have been on our back. We might not have been able to afford the fees. We were able to hand that coach an envelope full of cash to pay for his fees for the year. And that was because of Miriam. More importantly, I should say though, that was when it really hit me that this little product, sharing a little bottle, enabled me to enhance my boys' lives. Pretty cool. About 2 weeks after that, I found an application on our dining room table for him to run for president of his school. And I thought, I actually went to my husband and I said, did you see this application? And it was filled out with all the principal's signatures, it was filled out with his signatures, and I thought, holy cow, this child who didn't want to run for class president is now going to run for president. And Mama Bear came out and I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to have to say speeches. And trust me, speeches are not my thing either, so I can relate to him. And when he told me what that entailed, we made some posters, and I'll be honest, I thought it was a bit of a long shot. I thought, well, he wasn't even involved in the student council last year. Well, could he even be elected? So we went through the motions, we did all the paperwork, we went through the elections, and I'm sitting on election day in the back of the audience, and I'm watching 957 students pile in. And I'm not going to lie, my heart sunk. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's my baby. Can he do this? And he did it. He said a speech that I couldn't even believe. I helped him write it, but the way in which he delivered it was truly nothing short of astounding to me. And then he won the election. It was truly a magical thing to see and to watch. And that night, I was in my kitchen. My 2 little guys were running around. Things were chaotic, as they typically are with 3 boys at the home. And I said, Jonathan, I'm just a little curious about something. Last year, you didn't want to run for president of your class of about 30. What encouraged you to do so for your class, your school of about 957. I do know that because I was watching the file in. And he just looked at me, he was looking at his phone like most little tweens, and he said, I was inspired by you. And I thought, oh, my goodness, of course I started crying, much like I am now. And I thought, that was my aha moment. I thought, oh my gosh, all these changes in his life are a direct result of this company, of Miriam, of the personal development I've experienced, thanks to David Bird and everybody else, the 10 pages a day, that David had said to me, you are not the same person you were a year ago. And I understood what he meant by that because I had the privilege of being coached by him. But what I really didn't realize till that exact moment in time is all these changes in my little boy's life was that my wife was watching me. He was watching what I was doing, and he was growing and developing. And for that, Miriam has changed our lives, not just financially, but with the self-development, self-improvement. He's now changed the trajectory of my son's life, my little 10-year-olds, and I couldn't be prouder of him. So,